Hello, welcome to the second from the last edition of Jank Tank. Today, we're going to be trying out Dimir, Faeries, and Pioneer. Now, the only technically new card we got is Restless Reef. Outside of that, we got a lot of cards from the last set. So, what are we trying out? Like I said, is Restless Reef. Also, we have cards from the last set like Talion, Ego Drain, Fencing, Spell Stutter, and stuff like that. So we're going to try to see if we can't tempo out our opponent and go from there. And we are trying Ego Drain because it makes us actually play correctly, I think, with tempo. Because you don't really want to be discarding, making your opponent discard on turn 1. You really want to commit a threat. And in turn 2, you kind of want to leave up a counter or potentially commit a threat and a discard, or leave up a counter spell and a threat. That's kind of what we're going to be trying out today. If you like Dimir Faeries, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, hit that bell notification to be alerted for future videos. We're on our way to 1,000 subs. Let's get there together, and let's get into the deck list and see the deck in action. All right, so the deck list we have today, of course, we have 4 Spell Stutters, 4 Drains, 4 Fencings, 4 of the new Dream Thief, 2 Talons, and then we have 3 Obra. And then we have a couple Sleep Fairies. We have Caverns, also pretty decent with this deck. Sideboard, we have Extinction Event for aggro, Dispute for control. We have Hearse for graveyard hate, Bankbuster for midrange and control, Grasp for green base creature strategies or white. Disdainful Stroke helps against control a little bit to get the Teferi. Also helps against midrange. Then we have Ray of Enfeeblement, helps against small threats, and also it helps against Amalia. So that is our deck. Let's see if this deck can compete in Pioneer. Let's see the deck in action. Play Reef, say go. Plays a Pathway, passes. Cavern on Fairy, say go. Sailor, okay, Curious Obsession. Wait, that doesn't work. We will Petty Thief the Sailor. Put that on blue and say go. That resolves. Plays a waste. How do I want to do this? So what if I just... No, Step at the back seems kind of weird. Alright, so I think I just go ahead and try to fence. So rattles. Alright, so we go ahead and slip out the back. And he passes. We say go. Waste. Phantom. That resolves, I think. We take that. So we'll go ahead and cast Brazen Borrower. Play the Shores. Attempt to cast Ego Drain. This is really awkward, right? Because he can't really cast anything he doesn't know about, right? If he tries to cast into this, we just Brazen Borrower the Phantom. Okay, he goes for that. So we go ahead and I guess counter the Denial. Take the Queller. And say go. We will try to trade with the Phantom here. So this is the ultimate test, right? We're facing the deck that's so similar to ours in Pioneer. If we can somehow beat the better deck historically, then I think we're in a good position. Goes to combat, attacks out, go ahead and trade. So we're at 8. We untap. That's not terrible. So I think I just pass. So he attempts to draw. We Petty Thief Sailor. And he draws. And we say go. Plays an island. Phantom. Can't counter that, even though we would love to. So it goes to combat. This could mean that he has a Queller, but I don't think we can hold off on it. So we're going to attempt to offer a trade here. I wouldn't mind an untap land, right? Or I guess that does kind of interfere with Spell Stutter, but alright, so I play an untap land. So I go. Alright, so we go ahead and Brazen Borrower. Well, he doesn't have a Queller. And we counter. You don't need to get card advantage. As a combat research on the Phantom. I mean, we're gonna block the Phantom regardless. Passes. Play Fairy Miscreant. There you go. He attacks. I think we make him use his Flasher if he has one. Okay, they trade. Turn on the Reef. Shove. Make Umill. Sego. A Wanderer. Passes. Another Reef. I think I go ahead and play Dream Thief. Surveil. That's reasonable. Draws a coast. No attacks for the opponent. Play Italian. If he has a spell queller, that's pretty good. But I think we're going to name it 2. I'm pretty sure he has majority of a lot of 2 drop spells. We'll pass. Got it. Shores, sleight of hand. This is probably Grixis Phoenix, if I had to guess. We drew a Shores. That's good. Hive. Play the Dream Thief. I don't want to reveal that we're fairies, so we'll just keep that. I guess we kind of did, didn't we? Another sleight of hand. Oh, it's Esper? Another sleight of hand. What is an Esper that tries to play this many sleight of hands? We play the Shores. Ego Drain. I guess take the Verdict. Play Miscreant. And Shove. Duress. That's a whiff. So he drew a Watery Grave. That's good to know. And now he knows we just drew a Shores. We go to combat. We shove. And say go. Oh, I guess he did have a Watery Grave. I just didn't see it. There's the Plains. And passes. Play Dreaming Duelist. Or attempt to, at least. Play a tap land. Go to combat. And shove. Say go. Clearly he doesn't like the fact that there's nothing worth his time to Bitter Triumph. Is this a Verdict? Nope. Treasure Cruise. That happens. And passes. Cast Mastermind. Drain you to 10. Looks like Mastermind's worth killing. Okay, Spellstutter's not bad. Means he has to pay 5 for whatever. So we hit you to 6. Say go. Grease Fang. Go ahead and Spellstutter. That makes sense. This is Esper Fang. Plays a Beach. And passes. We'll play Fairy Miscreant because it's a redraw. And it's kind of a drain. So either he's going to kill this to prevent the drain or kill this to stop the draw. He prefers stopping the draw. Okay, so we drain him to 5. Hit him to 2. And say go. Free the Fae. You could Treasure Cruise. He does. Plays a Marsh. How does he beat me? He knows I have a Borrower. Alright, scoops up the match. So 1-0. Let's get into the next. Lifts. Passes. Island. Sleep Curse Fairy. Say go. So Jund. Inti. Play the Reeve. Say go. Shoves for 2. So we take 3. Go to 17. Play the Mountain. Arcanist. Play Fairy Miscreant. Watery Grave untapped. Fencing away. Empty. Ego Drain. Take Claim. Say go. Young Pyro. And shoves. We take 1. Down to 14. Fame on the Young Pyro and pass. That resolves. Goes to combat. Passes. Play Duelist. Untap. Fairy Miscreant. Go to combat. Shove for 3. Activates the Channeler. Discards the Stomping Grounds. Gets a Fatal Push. Attempts to Fatal Push the Sleep Curse Fairy. We let the ward happen. So we tap him down. I guess I just slip out the back. And attacks. Gets back the push to kill the Duelist. Of course. Take it. Put that on blue. Play a Dream Thief. Slip out the back in the graveyard. Go to combat. Shove for 4. Tyvar. Counter it. Discards a Pathway. For another Arcanist. So attacks out. Pretty much. So we'll triple block the Arcanist. He kills my Dream Thief. That's good. So we draw another Fairy Mastermind. Or Miscreant. Cavern. On Fairy. And shove for 4. Discards the Swamp. Attacks. We untap the Sleep Curse Fairy. So we block like that. Probably sacks this token. So I think I just go to his end step. So these trade. He drew a land. Petty Thief, the Channeler. Activate Dream Thief. Alright. I guess we just go to combat and shove. So he's at 4. We're at 8. Not a bad position to be. Village Right. Shoves for 1. Okay. We'll offer the trade. Fatal pushes the Fairy Sleep Fairy. Pays the ward. And plays a Pathway. And the Channeler. Play Fairy Mastermind. Ego Drain. Take Duress. I guess shove with the Fairy Mastermind. If he draws any removal, he wins, I think. NT. That does give that trample. But he has to, I guess, discard a card, but he can't. Shoves out. So we have to block here, I think. So we go to 4. Play Borrower. Untap. Go to combat. And shove. Got it. Against Rakdos mid. Probably just Banky. That's essentially it. It seems like a decent slip out the back matchup. Maybe a Fairy Mastermind. A Miscreant. I don't like that. Pathway on red. Play a Hall. Miscreant, say go. So Cliffs. Thoughtseize. Takes the Banky. So we play the Shores. Attempt to Ego Drain. So the Dread Knight is why it's there. Take the NT and shove. Another Pathway. Arcanist. And passes. Play an island. Go to combat. Shove. I think I go ahead and bounce to delay a Thoughtseize here. Village Rites. That's fine. That means we are Brazen Bar Fizzles, which is okay. We know he has a Forest still and a Dread Knight, but he plays Tyvar. Probably mills and gets back Arcanist. I had to guess. Play Watery Grave. Kill Tyvar. So he goes attacking. We'll wait until he targets me, because I want him to use it. So we play Fairy Mastermind. Phase it out, giving it a counter. So we take 1, and there's Dread Whispers. And then he played Dread Knight. And Pathway on black. We drew a land, a Spell Stutter, which should help. Shove for 4, and say go. NT. Counter it. Goes to combat. Shoves for 4. Targets the Thoughtseize. So we're at 15. Village Rite sacking the Dread Knight makes a lot of sense in this deck, right? We do get to draw a card. It's not anything, really. It's a Hive. And gets back the Dread Knight by drawing. Alright, no more lands, please. Ego Drain. That's better than a land. Looks like a Fatal Push inbound. No, sacks his threat. Draws a couple cards. We get to draw an extra card. Take the Tyvar. Ironically, he had all lands in hand, so just hit you. It's like we're going to take this match. There's a Dread Knight, an NT, tap Hive, activate Mastermind. Maybe I shouldn't have even done that, because he could technically now draw. I don't want to use that either. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. Shove. We might have a Fatal Push. 2-0. Let's get into the next. So Duress. That happens. Oh my god, this hand is actually now bad. Another land. Shores. Miscreant. Say go. So there's a Plains. And a Srom. Ego Drain. Alright, see what I'm facing over here. Is it Cheerios? Is it Grease Fang? It's Bogles. Take Light Paws, I guess. Pathway on blue. Shove. I don't see us winning game 1. Plains. So that was like his best top deck. Now he gets to all that glitters and ethereal armor. Oh, he drew a Light Paws. Hits me for 3. Take it. Another land. That's what I needed. Yeah, scoop it up. I think I drop the 2 drop. Maybe Extinction Event. And run it like that, I guess. Reef. Say go. Savior. Passes. Pathway on black. Question is, do I want a Fairy Mastermind? I think I do. Try to bluff a counter. Plains. Elcid. And a Cartouche. Fairy Mastermind. And passes. Okay. Play a tap land. Dream Thief. We need one more land. So these are both odd. Okay. That's a land. So now we just go to combat. Shove with the Mastermind because I'm not blocking with it. That resolves. Goes to combat. Shoves. We will offer a trade. Try to get him to use his mana. Okay. Pathway on blue. Extinction Event. On odd. And say go. Another Elcid. And a Sentinel Eyes. Passes. Play Dream Thief. Graveyard. Say go. All that glitters. Goes to combat. Attacks. Attempt to Petty Thief the Elcid. And replays the Elcid. Alright, we'll go ahead and just snipe it. We draw a Hive, which is less than desirable. And just shove with a 1-1. Deadweight. That happens. And Elcid. Sentinel's Eyes. Cast Brazen Borrower. Pathway on blue, I guess. Activate Dream Thief. Okay. Ego Drain. It has to be a card. and shove. Okay, hits me for 2. Goes up to 18. Play Fairy Mastermind. Drew another land. Turn on a Hive. And shove. Eat all the glitters, I guess. Pass the turn. Swamp. Smacks. So he goes to 12. We go to 13. Ego Drain. That's kind of useless. Go to combat. We still will shove. If he offers a trade for Elcid, we will take it, I guess. Eat the cartouche, I guess. Takes it to 4. Pass the turn. Goes to combat. Shoves for 4. So he goes to 6. And attempt to turn on the Hive. Go to combat. Alright, got game 2. Alright, so we're going to take out Slip at the back. Go up Ray. Go up Grasp. I don't like that. Plains Elthid. Passes. Another EE. Cavern. Fairy. Play Fairy Miscreant. Say go. Srom. Passes. Cavern. Go to combat. Shove. Pathway on white. Light Paws. So I think I'm going to go with Ray killing the Elcid. Since right now I think I'm working towards EEing on even. Okay, take 3. Okay, at least we know we're getting to the extinction event. Put that on Fairy. Go to combat. No attacks. Say go. Goes to combat. Shoves for 6. Take it. Swamp. Brazen Borrower. Pathway on blue. Extinction event on even. Shove. Say go. Srom. Another White Paws. Get back Sentinel's Eyes. Ethereal Armor. Alright. You need something special though. Like I just have another EE. I think aren't we we're 2-0 right now, I believe. So Watery Grave, untapped. Sleep, Cursed Fairy. You might be getting the 3-0. EE, even, and shove. Pass the turn. Courtyard. Scoops it up. 3-0. Let's get into the wrap up. So what did we learn this week about this deck overall? We went 3-0. I went ahead and made some adjustments. I felt like having that many creatures was probably too much. I went a little bit more setup. So I went up 4 full play set of Sleight of Hand. It should help us find our lands if we want them. It also should help us find for counter spells and discard and removal. I cut out the 1-drop Black Fairy. I think it's the weakest of the 3. Dream Thief. The Sleep Curse at least is a decent clock once it gets going. I also cut a Dreaming Duelist. I felt like it's just not as good as Mastermind. So I think 2 copies is enough. So I think this might be a little bit better. If you have any considerations at all for Fairies, let me know down in the comment section. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification before you head out that door. And until next time, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Talk to you soon.